Joined now by RNC Deputy Communications Director Tim Miller. Tim, good to see you on this Saturday. One way that your boss, Reince Priebus, says the Republicans can make gains is essentially by waging a permanent campaign. Couldn't voters get sick of that really fast?
Well, what we need to do is be able to compete with what the Democrats and the Obama administration is doing. You know, one thing, if you look back at this past election, President Obama began running for re-elect as soon as he was elected in 2008. Mitt Romney's campaign was only 6 months long, and from an infrastructure standpoint, from getting into communities and organizing and listening to voters and hearing their concerns, the Obama campaign had more time and it allowed them to do a better job. So going forward, that's something that we're going to need to do and make sure that we're living in these communities, organizing, talking about the Republican Party and the Republican brand, not just in the 2 months before an election, but all the time.
Tim, here's the thing. You know, that's strategy talk, and we've heard some talk about messaging as well. But what about the messengers? What about the actual people who are going to be espousing the beliefs of the Republican Party? Has there been talk about changing those?
Well, look, the Republicans have a very deep bench as we look ahead to 2016. I look at Marco Rubio, Bobby Jindal, Paul Ryan, the folks you just showed, Susana Martinez in New Mexico. We have a lot of young leaders who have been successful in the state level. And on the national level, we need to look to the states and learn from them. You know, we have 30 Republican governors. And if we won the electoral vote in the presidential election this year in all 30 of those states, we would have won over 300 electoral votes, a huge landslide. And that's because these governors are putting forth reform policies on taxes, on education, things that middle-class voters, that all voters see are helping them in their states. And we need to figure out a way to translate that to the national level so we can be successful in presidential elections in 2016 and beyond.
Let's talk about that Charlotte meeting that you attended earlier this week. I understand there is a great deal of again, talk about strategy. Has there been a lot of talk about changing the calendar as well and limiting the number of GOP presidential debates?
There has been some talk of the calendar, and right now we have a review process called the Growth and Opportunity Project, where we have a number of Republicans, some grassroots leaders, some leaders in Washington who are looking at all of the lessons from this past election to see what we can learn. And, you know, I think that is one of the things you can look at is we had a whole lot of debates last time, 21 debates in the presidential campaign. Some people thought it turned into
television, Sam. They did make for great television.
No, it was great television. And look, you don't want to minimize the debates too much. You want the voters to be able to hear from the candidates, but maybe we could find a way to structure it a little bit better so that it's better for the candidates, better for the voters, better for everybody, instead of getting into this free-for-all that we saw this past time. So that's one idea, and we're going to look at a whole bunch of other things as we look forward.
I want to call your attention to one more thing before I let you go.
Sure.
This new website that the RNC has set up, soliciting really sort of grassroots ideas about how to fix the party's image. Folks can go to the website, take a survey. There's a nice little video there of Reince Priebus as well. What's been the response to the survey so far?
You know, look, we had a great response. We sent it out on Thursday. As of yesterday, we had over 25,000 people throughout the country who have gone to our website, GOP.com, filled out that survey for the Growth and Opportunity Project so we can hear from folks. I mean, a lot of times political consultants like me spend too much time listening to folks in Washington and not listening to folks out in the country and hearing from them and getting their ideas about what the Republican Party can do to help make sure we're more successful in 2014 and 2016. That's what this review process is doing, and we're going to continue to do that over the next few months as we figure out the best way to move forward.
Tim Miller, the RNC,
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time on this Saturday, sir.
We'll see you soon.